Shalom, and welcome to the Malibu Jewish Center and Synagogue Challenging Torah series. If we were to do a movie trailer for this particular portion, Parshat Nasso, it might look like adultery, ordeals, magical spells. Tune in to see if she's really guilty. Well, that would be the trailer. That's what this Torah portion is about. But it's not just about sex and magic, but about an attempt to find a place of order in a universe where the evil inclination, that which pulls us from our best self, is always actively involved as well. And so the entire book of Leviticus really could have been seen as instructions to the priests, and this book, the book of Numbers Bamidbar, really concentrates on the frailties of human beings when faced with their challenges, and certainly jealousy is a challenge. So we begin our discussion of this Torah portion with the place that reads, "If any wife has gone astray and has broken faith with her husband, in that a man has had carnal relations with her unbeknownst to her husband, and she keeps the secret to herself, hiding the fact that she has defiled herself, and there are no witnesses against her, and a fit of jealousy comes over her husband, whether she has or has not defiled herself, the husband shall bring his wife to the priest to undergo the ordeal that we have come to call the ordeal of the Sotah, or the adulterous one." Note the end of that paragraph. In the beginning it looks like she's really guilty, and then it reaches the place that says, no, this is really about jealousy, about human jealousy, whether she has or has not defiled herself. And we know that in our world, we're not clear about this. We still have honor killings. We still have women who are stoned. We have families that feel that they can kill a daughter who has brought shame to the family. We haven't come that far before we're so horrified. And so, as we look into the ordeal, we see that it is really an ordeal that disgraces the woman. It is not an equal opportunity. It is not a moment she can call him into a trial. No, that's true. But at least he is not allowed to just kill her. He needs to bring her to the priest. Hopefully there's a breathing space here in this jealousy moment. And her hair is loosed. She's stripped perhaps to the waist. And after they've put on an offering that's like an animal offering of barley, then she is made to drink a potion, magic. A potion that has had the name of God written in ink and dipped in the potion. And it says, if her belly swells and her thigh distends, then there's no doubt that she's guilty. And if it doesn't, well, she can, quote, retain seed. Some of the commentators are very clear that this was a kind of mini abortion process, and that if it wasn't her husband's baby, which is always everyone's fear, it would abort with this magic potion, and if not, well, she has the baby. Not exactly the best setup for marital relations, but a way to deal with basically not only adultery, but jealousy and an unhinged husband. Look, in Santa Barbara last weekend, we saw what happens when people, look, this young man was obsessed with the fact that everyone had a female mate but him. Little unhinged, no problem in buying guns. And so 6 students were dead and 13 people were injured, and the campus is in shock. We still deal with this kind of dysfunction in our society today. So the ordeal of the Sotah, unfair though it may have been, and by the end of Second Temple times, it was abandoned. It was done, but it was finished by the time the temple was over 2,000 years ago. No, you may not bring your wife to the rabbi's office. It said, well, first of all, the male had to never have strayed. That cut down a lot of the traffic. And according to some of the commentators in the 1st and 2nd century, adultery was so rife that they just didn't have any room to bring all these women. Perhaps so. But it went into disuse and remains one of those examples of the fact that we still have much healing in Judaism to do around issues of women. We have much healing to do with issues around women today, as we heard from the misogynist rant of this young man just this past weekend in Santa Barbara. When it is matters of monetary retribution, the Torah is very clear. When a man or woman, and it's either here, commit a wrong to a fellow human being, thus breaking their faith with God, and they realize their guilt, and they're talking about money, about monetary matters, they shall confess the wrong they have done, and shall reply by giving back the principal plus 20%. It's very clear. You give back whatever you stole plus 20%. Monetary matters can be solved, but matters of jealousy in the heart, this is between a human being, themselves, and God, who knows the answer, who knows if she's straight or not, who knows if the husband is just having a jealous fit. It's very difficult to legislate matters of the heart, but they've tried to do so and to keep peace in the camp. And interestingly enough, this Torah portion ends with the priestly blessing, again, in that Levitical priestly blessing, where we see the hands of Aaron and his sons, and they are to hold their hands out over the congregation and say the words that we still repeat. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and protect you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'kunecha. Can God cause his face to shine on you and be gracious unto you? Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Can God turn God's face to you and bring you peace? Peace in your home, peace in your family, peace in your community. May this be our blessing for this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. See you at Torah study.